Welcome to the Conducive Implement Podcast. I'm your host, Marquis Bay, aka YDK General, aka Mr. Nobody, the ethical nihilist of practical optimism and pessimistic discipline. If that makes sense, doesn't need to make sense. Just know it's a way to be selfishly selfish. Selfishly selfish. To embrace the void of unlimited space that needs to be filled with fuel. And now that fuel can either be self-love or self-sabotage. Now this episode is a follow-up. I wouldn't necessarily call it part 2, but it's a follow-up. It's a bonus because I have a lot to say and I have a lot to give. And yes, I will have a book coming out soon. It's not going to be a big book, but it's going to be simple. I'm going to give you tools. But if you pay attention, I'm giving you the tools right now. But once I focus my 10%, if you don't know what I'm talking about, tune into the last episode, episode 3. When you use 10%, not even trying to go all out, not hitting them a kami high out the gate, just hitting a little focus key blast, meteor crash, meteor rush, throwing some combos here and there. You know what I'm saying? Getting in the flow. Once you get in the flow, or it's like ultra instinct, in a way. Yeah, let me compare it to Dragon Ball Z because that's what I like to do. To my anime fans out there, it's like Vegeta and Goku are equal opposites. The reason why Goku keeps surpassing Vegeta is because Goku pulls from a source that is not of his own ability. Vegeta pulls from his own ability and his own effort, which requires him to be independent and use his 100%, to basically Vegeta is the living example of get rich or die trying, be honorable or die with honor, basically. Goku is more of a stick to the book, add in what I want to add in, but stick to the book, stick to the blueprint. Not forcing. His ultra instinct is not him forcing his defense. It's him becoming, or not even becoming, just being in a flow. Being in a flow of receiving and giving. Being in the flow of negative and positive. Him being indivisible. Aware. Being like Neo in the Matrix. Being aware of the reality. Not trying to change the reality, but dealing with reality on reality's terms. And by dealing with something by the rules, or knowing something, or being strategic with the blueprint, then you can add in the speed. Then you can add in the individual comprehension or reflection. It's like people can all study the same subject. Or better yet, I'm going to pull from my example of 3 people are doing 185 bench press, right? One person is doing 5 sets. The reason why he's doing 5 sets, because that's his personal rep. That's his personal max. He's building strength. And finding his limit and pushing past it. Now he can work with that limit to now push past even more. Do 5 reps, nothing more, nothing less. That was his 10% focus. Okay, now you have another person. They're doing 10 reps of 185. Now, they're doing more reps because they've already surpassed that limit, but they're sticking with that limit to tear at the muscle fibers repetitively to build hypertrophy, to now build mass. And now the third person is doing 2 sets of 10 to build stamina or muscular endurance. The same how, just different whys. The same tool, the same setup, but a different focus, a different objective, a different goal. That is utilized by the cognitive awareness. I love this word, cognitive awareness. I feel like it's cognitive. When I say cognitive or cognition, to me it's a word that represents physical conduciveness, physical interaction. You know, when I say cognition, it's the three within you. It's the Trinity within you, not being forced, but being willed and being coherent. Through design. So this episode is about design. It's about the tools. It's about recognizing the tools in front of you. The tool that's inside of you. You are the tool. Your mind and your heart are the tools. Like the last episode, the needle and the thread of your reality. It ain't on you, it's in you. Meaning it ain't what you put on. It ain't what you make yourself out to be. It's what you are. The internal will always reveal. What's done in the dark come to the light. What's inside will be shown. What I learned through a dream, or was just a confirmation, is that the voice, and I also heard it in a video, is like the voice is a projection of your experience. Because when you speak with the heart, you know? You speak with the heart, low key. And this path is not a path of perfection. My philosophy, or my guide on this thing that we call perfection is just, it's constant and a persistent correction and progress. Perfection is correction and progress. Correction is daily maintenance. And this daily maintenance requires 10%. 10%. 10% is all it requires. It doesn't require 50, 100. You can add that in, but it requires 10%. Once you focus on something, that attention, that attention, no matter how long it was, that attention will affect you. Anything can affect you. Your environment can either be, you could either be a product of your environment, or you can be a producer in your environment. You could either be a cause or an effect. And I want you to really adapt to this enlightened perspective. And you can form it how you want. I'm just opening up a pathway so that you can do the work. Doing the work is not hard. It just requires indivisible, indivisible, non-dual, meaning not putting yourself here, having your attention everywhere, or trying to multitask. Is you giving that focus or that goal or the objective piece your subjective juice, or you know what I'm saying? And words are words, but words describe, words create and express. Like it says in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word is God. And the Word we all know is Jesus Christ, which is the truth and the way and the light and the life. The enlightenment, or a piece of Buddhism, all is one. It's all one. It's not separate because everything is from the same source. Keeping it simple is taking it for what it is, not making it something different, taking it for what it is and dealing with it by its design. Really, really get in tune with this, and I hope y'all got y'all notebooks. That's going to be important. I'm gonna start up classes soon, and probably either a WhatsApp or Discord group for serious solutionaries. This is not about us changing the world or trying to do something grand, and I got over that. The focus is saving thyself. Say, Jesus Christ is Lord and Savior. The Word is the Lord and Savior. The Word is the authority or the sword. And as I remember, we are children of the Word, right? We are expressions of the Word, right? And one of the most important words that we misunderstand is love. We use this word love so freely without realizing its potential to be manipulated or to be misused or perverted. And perversion is not only used in sexual examples, it can be, but perversion is just not according to its design. We all have an innate design, an innate guide. It's called a heart. It's called a conscience, which is the seed or a spark of the Creator within us that is subjective to us, which is called a will. Free will. It's our ability to be conductors. The earth is the middle plane, right? They would say, in other places that this would be one of the hardest planets or hardest realities to be in, but we're in it. It's not how. We don't need to know how. How is evident in our existence of us being alive, us working or being aware that we're alive, being grateful that we're alive. Being alive is feeling, having the heart open. You know, one thing that I learned from this I don't want to give them free promotion, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I'll try to give y'all reference points. There's this animated show called The Midnight Gospel, which the main character fled from Earth, fled from his own, I guess, life, or he felt like he needed to restart. So what he did was he borrowed money from his sister and fled, which may not have been a good choice, but you know, people do what they do. You know, you got to accept it. It's on you. You know, your choices are your choices. Consequences come with everything, whether good or bad. There's an effect for every cause. Ebb and flow, rhythm, and equal exchange. So before I get too off track, the episode was him talking with his mother, and his mother had already passed, but he bought a simulator, and the simulator had different worlds in it that he could go in and experience. And then he would interview those life forms in those simulations. It's crazy. And they would have perspectives on different things like death or trauma or, you know, drug abuse and substances and all these things. I should really check it out. It's a mind opener if you really there to learn from it, you know. Take everything as a learning experience, which really helped me. But hold on, I'm gonna have to pause real quick. I won't pause. What the hell? Well, okay. I might have just cut this out. I just need a breather. Expressing this not only helps me, but makes me realize that with this awareness comes with a pain. It's not pessimism, but it's nihilism, and we seek for a soother, and we have to. The soother can be through our passions or through our service, but these soothers have to be managed, or we'll depend on them and create comfort zones to shield ourselves. As human beings, we have this part of us that we don't control that is like a protector that helps us shield ourselves from potential danger, and it can also shield us from growth. That's why they say you can sabotage your own life. We are so powerful. And I might just end this off right here because I don't want these to be too long. And I want y'all to just keep tuning in. I'm going to give it to y'all real raw and unedited. Suffering, or the journey, is not hindered by the possibilities. It's hindered by the possibility. Not the possibilities, plural, singular. The possibility that you can. We all feel deep down that we can. We just choose for the can't. So we don't have to go through the process. Each new second is a day. Each hour is a year. Time is a tractor. It's a tracker. Everything is just it's an expression or a coordinate. And it's up for us to have individual and subjective analysis to fully become conducive and competent and mature, not only with ourselves, but the path and the role that we were given. Love and light gonna be there, but the darkness is too. And if you missed my point, is that everything has an equal exchange. We suffer either way. It's either you're gonna suffer by not doing, or you're gonna suffer by the process of doing. The destination will come with the pleasure, or I wouldn't say the pleasure, it will come with the feeling of creating or having an achievement, the feeling of doing something, progression. Let the process be pleasure. Let the reflection and evaluation be the motivation. Let the internal become renewed, washed up, and dressed up before the external is renewed, washed up, and dressed up. Just like you brush your teeth, brush your hair, wash your face, buy new shoes, or get a new watch, or have these wants. Tend to your needs. The soul, the true you comes first. The self-love comes first. The selfish maintenance. The only way to be selfish in a good way is to be selfish by taking time to improve with the small steps. Of mental, spiritual, emotional, and physical. It's that physical last. I would say emotional, or they say mind, body, spirit, mind, body, soul. Either way, you get the concept. Let the hypothetical or your hypothesis be dictated with intent. Don't let your hypothesis be at the end of the experiment with the conclusion. Don't let your hypothesis be before the conclusion. Don't let your hypothesis be after your conclusion. Let your hypothesis be before your conclusion. And I say this because your life is an experiment of experiences that will happen whether you choose it or whether you don't. But if you do, sit in the driver's seat and start taking control of your life. Means come to terms and be real. That shadow work, which I'm learning how to do more conducively. So I'm learning how to be more practical with it. Not just mentally, but more on the emotional side. It's to show up with a full tank and only have to use 10%. Peace and love, y'all. Next episode coming tomorrow. And whenever I publish it, just know they're coming. The more I realize and reflect, the more ammo I gain to eventually help someone out there. That's it. That's all. Be bold. Stay true. There's a lot of people in this world, but there's only one you.